What is up, guys? By Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel 4. Last time, we started making our way from the Isthma Great Forest towards, well, I mean, St. Ark, I guess, rather, but we had to go back kind of towards where our exercise camp was to make our way towards Parm. And now we are right outside of Parm. I believe that, Kyrie told us that, who was it, Pablo and Tatiana are in Parm gathering information, which I'm still just, like, blown away that they haven't gotten new outfits. Like, I don't even care if they were the most bland, like, NPC outfits. It's still just weird that, you know, the Imperial Army, or just, you know, just the Imperial government in general, are looking for members of Thor's Branch campus, and they're just out here in their normal outfits, so kind of weird. But we're gonna go over here and see if they have any info for us. It is kind of funny how it's kind of starting up how the last game did. We're in the same location as our first field exercise. Parm, the spinning town. It's been 4 months since we were last here. You are finally here. It's been a long journey. We could all use a rest. It hasn't changed since we came here for field exercises. So this is your childhood home, huh? And isn't Hamel nearby? Yes, it's on the way to the Libero border. Let's take a look around town, shall we? Pablo and Tatiana are supposed to be in this area. Let's visit the training hall while we look for them. A sound idea. Let's go. Yeah, and here's the big difference. They aren't in as much of a rush to be on a certain timetable. I mean, I guess you could argue they're on more of a rush, but because it's not like, oh, we only have 2 days in this region and then we have to go back to school. It's more just kind of like however long they need. But obviously they don't want to take like 3 weeks just in like Parm, St. Ark area. I do need to remember to keep in mind while recording this, every time I start recording for the day, that when the next 3 and 9 chapter is going to be found. So we do have oh wait, no, there was one today. I remember. There's one here in Parm. I think they said at the inn. And then after that, there's going to be one on the 10th of August for us to find. But let's look around first. Let's Parm Station. You can't even go in there because you can see it's just a blank area. Alright, let's check the inn first. Because I believe they said it's at the inn. Maybe not. Unless it's just something you're supposed to find. Oh, yep, okay. So it does seem like all the 3 and 9 books, I mean, maybe there'll be a few you actually purchase, but it seems like most of them you're just going to be finding. Possibly. Yeah, I know that guy. Any fisherman would. He's the president of the Lakelord Company, Lord Lakelord. And who might you be? It seems as though you recognize me, but I'm not sure we've met. Ah, you're still but Fry, but you've developed a taste for fishing. Nevertheless, I would not be opposed to outfitting you with my latest fishing gear. And I would sell it to you myself. You should be honored. Gee, thanks. Jeez, this guy's more like Lord Snoot Lord. It's not unusual behavior for a noble. That said, he was able to determine our skill as fishers from a single look. It's clear his present status isn't just ornamental. If I may ask, Lord Lakelord, what brings you to such a far-flung town? Ah, well. Plainly speaking, my company and I are struggling. Worse yet, something curious is happening to bodies of water all over the Empire. What a miserable time to be short-handed. Not sure what that's about, but he sounds like he's pretty busy. No matter, getting flustered right now won't do me any good. As a matter of fact, I recently bought a book to help me take my mind off things. I thought it was about a fishing crew that sails the ocean, but when I started reading, my first impression rapidly proved false. It wasn't a bad yarn, however. Why don't you take it? Yep, 3 and 9, Chapter 2. Thank you. If you learn anything in your fishing endeavors, return to me. I need more information myself. Of course. Yeah, I mean, he's a noble, but as long as you're talking about fishing, he has no problems with you, seemingly. Alright, so yeah, so the next 3 and 9 book is gonna be, there are 10 in total, and the next one's gonna be on August 10th, so it'll be a few days from where we are now. It's like I said before, I don't believe a ton of time passes in this game as, like, a whole, because it's pretty much like day after day we're seeing what the characters do. Kind of similar to Cold Steel 2, if you remember. I believe, it was obviously in 1205, but I believe, I'm trying to remember. I think it was like, what was it? It was like, it started in like October, I believe. It was either September or October, Cold Steel 2 began. And by the like start of the new year, or no, it would have been 1204, I guess. Yeah, it would have been 1204. So it was like 1204, and then at the start of 1205 is when the game was already over. So it really was only like 2 or 3 months that went by in that entire game. Okay, well, it looks like there's a side quest at the Parm Chapel, so we may as well go over there. What else we got? General store. I mean, it doesn't hurt to check all the different stores. Hey, haven't seen you kids in a while. Isn't this a welcome surprise? Have you been doing all right? Everything's been so chaotic lately. We have. About as well as can be expected, at least. I hope we didn't worry you. Oh, by the way, some of our classmates are in town. Is there any chance you've seen them? Their names are Pablo and Tatiana. We sure have. They're staying with us. They've been helping us out around the store, but they just stepped out a little while ago. Good. I'm glad to hear they're doing all right. Yeah, and this really speeds up our search. You know where they went off to? Not really, no. They often hang around the town here and there. Wander around, you're bound to run into them. Alright, we'll try that. Thank you for your help. It would be nice if they were, you know, I guess helping this family out. I mean, I'm sure they are. I can't imagine they're just freeloading and then going to do whatever they want. I'm sure they help out around the store when they're asked to. Dwight Arms and Orbital Factory. Okay, it's the same gear. Alright. Better than nothing. And I don't want to spend all my Sepith on buying new quartz since we're going to find a ton anyway. Oh, that does remind me. Is there anywhere to exchange for stuff here? I wonder. Okay, it doesn't look like we can get any bait here. Oh, I wonder if, oh no, duh. Lake Lord, guy. He's probably got some bait he'd be willing to sell to us. Yep. He has a shop. It's kind of expensive. I mean, you could buy like 30 with what I have on me, so let's just buy 10. I guess, for now. And we could sell some fish. For this stuff, anyway. Yeah, and this stuff we already have. So what did this do? Incredible tension. Reduce tension buildup even when the fish is struggling. Got it. Because I bought them before, but I never actually read what those 2 lines specifically did. Or upgrades, rather. Carp. Perfect. Let's see what the side quest is about at the chapel. Even our reserve stocks are low. At this rate, we'll soon be unable to make any more medicine. I suppose we can make do with substitute ingredients. Father Hobbins, are you alright? You seem gravely worried. Oh, it's good to see you, Kurt. I heard you've had some trouble in Heimdallar. I wouldn't dare pry into your private affairs, though. All I have to say is that I'm glad to see you're well. What a good guy. Thank you for your concern. That aside, it seems the people of Parm are in a difficult position as well. You seem to be distraught, too. Perhaps, but just about everywhere has hit hard times lately. That's true, but is there something we can do for your father? As members of Class 7, we cannot ignore those in need of assistance. Please tell us what it is that's been troubling you. I'd rather not bother you, but if you insist. It's a simple matter, really. We've been running out of ingredients for making medicines. Is that because of the requisitions? Indeed. The church is exempt, but the townspeople have been forced to give up much of their supplies. Yeah, they can't, because the church is an external, corporation. They're not funded by Erebonia government itself. They're funded by Arteria. So, they can't take things from the church. It has made it practically impossible for us to obtain them. I've been considering purchasing alternative ingredients. Unfortunately, it isn't as if we have substitutes on hand either. That is quite the conundrum. Our time may be limited, but it would weigh heavily on my conscience if we did nothing to help. It's up to you, Kurt. I don't mind either way. We would like to offer our assistance. Yeah, give us a list and we'll be back with the stuff before you know it. I admire your confidence and thank you for the offer. There are only 2 ingredients, in fact. The first one is Rainbow Rubia, a very rare plant. We know about... Wait, didn't we get the Rainbow Rubia for, It was the guy that was making the dye in the last game, right? For that, for the festival. Oh, yep, there it is. In this town, it's mostly used for preparing dye. See what happens when you remember things? Rainbow Rubia, That rings a bell. You're right, we once collected it during our field exercises. It can staunch bleeding and relieve fever, right? Color me impressed, young lady. Yeah, she remembered. Good memory, Uni. Instructor Reen taught me that. If I remember correctly, Rainbow Rubia should be available at the department store in St. Arc. It was at Sterry Farm Luxury Foods. Hopefully they'll have some in stock. We should check there. What of the other ingredient? A medicinal plant known as a healing herb. Archbishop Ramson at St. Arc Cathedral should have those. If you explain what you need it for, I'm sure he won't mind giving you some. Understood. We'll procure the ingredients for you. Thank you, and good luck. Also, you know, once again, we aren't just being given a list of quests. It's just kind of, you know, you'll find them as you go along. We are going to go back to St. Arc here in a second, but I just want to make sure there's no other... Yeah, it doesn't look like any more side quests right now, besides going to the training hall. So let's head to St. Arc real quick. What store was it? Did they say? Well, we'll just go here and find out. There should be a green exclamation point anyway. Yep, Albion Department Store and then the Cathedral right ahead. I know we've still got a ton left to do, but it is kind of a bittersweet feeling that our kind of binge playthrough series that I've been doing for, I think it's been like a year and like 3 months now since we started with the first Sky game, is kind of coming to an end, because after Cold Steel 4, we just have Trails into Reverie, and then we're playing the waiting game for the next titles to come out. Obviously, we'll have Trails to Nayuta, or I forget if it's how it's actually said in English. But Nayuta isn't, at least at this point in the series, not directly connected to the story here. And then, of course, we'll have the first game of the Calvert arc after that, whenever that gets localized. People are hoping for the middle of 2024. I'm gonna guess like end of 2024, early 2025, so probably around there. But we'll see. Welcome, are you looking for anything in particular? Actually, yes. Kurt asked if Rozumi had any Rainbow Rubia. I'm sorry, we don't have any Rainbow Rubia in stock. Not even a little? We never carried much of it to begin with, and it's become difficult to have them brought in because of the way things are right now. What should we do? Well, maybe there's some other way of getting it. You all seem to be agonizing over a certain food ingredient. Perhaps I could assist. This guy. This guy had us running around in circles in the first, and I believe we saw him in the second Libero game as well. We saw him in Sky, first chapter and second chapter. He was the one that had us running around finding ingredients for him. My name is Orvid. I just so happen to run a business in Libero that deals in the rarest of ingredients. Yeah, believe me, I know. To have your sights set on Rainbow Ruby at such a tender age, without a doubt you have a bright future as gourmands. In appreciation of that potential, I'll tell you of a place I've seen it growing. I feel like I've seen this guy somewhere before. A food ingredient. Is Rainbow Ruby edible? I suppose there are some medicinal herbs that are used in cooking, but well. This reminds me of a certain student in my class. Yes, I can only hope he's doing well too. But either way, knowing where it grows would be a big help. Oh, cat got your tongue? I can only assume your loss of speech must be an effect of your pure excitement. Anyway, let me tell you, I found Rainbow Ruby on my way back from Isthmia Grey Forest. Lovely, we're really backtracking. It was just on the West Sutherland Highway. It's a high spot with good sunshine. Oh, so it's not inside? Or is it inside the forest or not? Or it's just on the way there? Thank you. But why would someone from Libero risk going to such a dangerous place at this time? I'll go anywhere in search of delicacies. That's all there is to it. If it weren't for the certain circumstances, I'd prefer to keep searching this country for many delectable ingredients. But alas, at the very least, I'll still be able to visit Isthmia Grey Forest twice more before I return to Libero. Oh, please take care and be careful. Well, there you have it. Alright, well, we'll definitely check that out. Hopefully, our other ingredient doesn't have us running all over the place, at least. Oh, he's gonna be... okay. Old Man Luke. Looks like a fisherman with that hat. Excuse us, Archbishop, but might we trouble you for a moment? Oh, hello there. What seems to be the matter? I'd be happy to help however I can. Well, we received a request from Father Hobbins in Parm. Ah, I understand. Wait here, I'll prepare some now. We're just supposed to pretend Fiona wasn't just standing there. Is this enough? That's perfect, thank you so much. I can't help but feel bad, though. You guys must be running pretty dry on supplies yourselves. Don't worry, we've been saving some, so we have enough to spare. If I may impart just one more thing, though, the instructor who was here with you before may no longer be by your side. I know without a doubt that his teachings remain with you, no matter where he may be. If you're ever unsure of your path, that which he has left in your heart will lead the way. Archbishop. Those words really mean a lot to us. Wow. He's good. Goodness me, so he's been missing ever since what happened in the capital? Probably talking about Elliot. I'm afraid we haven't seen him here at the cathedral for months now. I'm sorry, I wish I could be of more help. I'll be sure to let you know if we do see him, though. Thank you, Archbishop. At least I know he hasn't been here. Every little bit of information helps. Looked all over, but I still don't have any leads. Guess all I can do is trust him and believe he'll keep himself safe. Well, we could tell you he's safe if you would just, you know, be like, hey, I'm Elliot's sister. Alright, so, I guess near, Isthmia Great Forest. I don't know, like, okay, I guess just here. Let's go here. Oh, no, yeah, it's the high spot up here, okay. So it'd be really helpful if, or I guess more ideal for Summon Draken, you know, obviously that Yuna has right now. If you have a zero art, that would probably be the best point to use it. Alright, come on. Let's hit them all. Man, it really is amazing how much better their outfits look when they're not in their school uniforms. I know I've already said it, like, I really like these outfits on them, but it's just like, these are like perfect outfits for these characters. It's always Kurt that's getting bullied here. Gotta wait for Randy's turn. We're fine anyway. Split stems and small ribbon red flowers. These must be rainbow rubia. There aren't a lot of them left. They're pretty rare. We shouldn't take more than we need. We have everything we need. We should return to Parm. Hopefully this will be enough. Arid Village and Eerie Woods we can't go back to right now. Welcome back. Did you manage to get the ingredients? Yes, here they are. Thank you. This should last us a good while. I have something for you too. It isn't much, but I hope you find it useful. Yes, I'll take it. Oh, yes, definitely. Are you sure you want to give us these to us? That's right. Haven't the supplier requisitions driven you into a tight spot? Oh, don't be silly. I wouldn't feel right if I couldn't thank you somehow for your help. Your kindness and willingness to lend a hand to those in need are very heartening to me. I'll be truly glad if you could continue to help those in need like you did here. Eidos is watching over you, so I hope you continue to do your best. Thank you, Father Hobbins. I hope we can live up to your expectations. Yes, I hope so too. Heh, they've grown into a real dependable bunch. So there's that Thor's Unity rating thing. Alright, I want to put that heal on... Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, we need one, That's what I want. Okay, we're good now. So even at the eventual point when Randy's not in the party, at least we'll have some way to heal. Guess it wouldn't hurt to check some of these other homes. Like, obviously, I know the 3 and 9 books we're not going to be looking for here for a minute. Where are you guys? Jack and Shayla. Just a couple that lives here? Even if they start requisitioning supplies, I can't afford to stop working. I'm an artisan. Keeping our craft and traditions alive is a must, no matter what. That's what'll benefit Parm the most, after all. Hey, don't think you can just walk into my workshop without permission. Sorry, Jack. This is where we helped out with that job, right? Yep, back here. Kurt, you're okay? Yes, I'm completely fine, Reggie. Thank goodness. Master Gallard told me you've been through a rough patch. Thor's doesn't have the best reputation lately since its name been connected to some suspicious incidents. I see. But no matter what people say, I trust you guys, and so does Master Gallard. I know it may not mean much, but I really do wish you the best of luck with everything you're doing. I appreciate it regardless, Reggie. Good that, despite the bad rep that Thor's has right now, I mean, it's just like Cold Steel 2. Like, we were in a rough spot there as well. Although it was a little different then. During that, it was the Noble Alliance and everybody that wanted us out of the way. It wasn't the Imperial government. Now the Imperial government really wants it. Oh god, this is a problem. Looks like someone's outside the training hall. What? I've seen those uniforms before. It's the Heimdallar Military Police. Why are they here? The sign's been removed as well. I wonder what happened to all the students. If I didn't know that was already Pablo, then I would assume that's Lloyd. Oh, no, not Pablo, Rex. And you are? That's a fairly expensive model of orbital camera. Are you a journalist? No. Oh boy. Maybe some other time. You said you're with the Imperial Chronicle? Are you a friend of Vivi's by any chance? Oh, you know her? She's in a different department, but yeah, we're colleagues. She's gone quiet, though. There's no way to get in touch with her, either. You don't know what she's been up to, do you? I'm afraid not. Wasn't Vivi in Heimdallar when we saw her last? Yeah, she was with Mint and Linde. So they all just vanished in thin air? Eh, wherever she wandered off to, I hope she's at least found a big scoop. Anyway, as for me, I've just finished interviewing the guys at Titus Gate, so I've got some free time on my hands. I've got this project, Cuties of Erebonia. You sure you don't want to be featured? He appears to be quite sleazy. He'd give Randy or Sydney a run for their Mira. Hey, I've got more class than this guy. You've been to Titus Gate? That's the border with Libero, right? Anything interesting going on there? Nah, still pretty quiet so far. But I get the feeling all hell's gonna break loose soon. I made sure to get some photos while everything's still normal. I managed to wrangle some info. Oops, shouldn't have said that. What about the disciples from the training hall? You said they've been sent away? Can you tell us more, please? Alright. They've been headhunted for some special project. The Empire's most promising fighters are being snatched up to pilot Panzer Soldats. What? You mean they'll be put in Soldats and sent to fight in Calvard? Well, yeah, that's the idea. You thought with the war just around the corner, they'd let Vanderschool disciples peacefully practice their skills in their hall? Why do you know this much? Oh, look at the time. I'm gonna be late for my train. I've gotta go. Want to exchange contact info? Let me know if you hear about Vivi. Oh, yeah, sure. Got it, thanks. Bye. Let me photograph you next time. Are they gonna put 2 and 2 together that if he knows Vivi, he could possibly be from Thor's? He was quick to make his exit when we started asking him questions. Yeah, can't get a read on the guy. He's gotta be based in Heimdallr, though. That's where the Imperial Chronicle HQ is. I'm worried about Vivi. And, are you okay, Kurt? Yes. I was just a bit shocked that the disciples were conscripted. They didn't have a choice. The national mobilization law is in effect, after all. But you don't know for sure they've been forced to join the Imperial troops. Perhaps. What do we do now? No one is at the hall. And Pablo and Tati aren't here either. Should we go to the tailor's and wait? Yes, let's. Alright, let's head to the center of town. It's gotta be Pablo, right? Oh, Pablo. Looks like you just got back. Good timing. Yeah, I still don't get how they get away with just wearing these outfits in public. Even as someone who doesn't fully understand Japanese, you can tell he does have somewhat of an accent. So, the way they give him an accent actually is pretty fitting. He doesn't talk in the same mannerisms that everyone else does. So Kairi told you I'd be here, did he? Man, you sure are a sight for sore eyes. Glad to see you're doing well. But I wouldn't expect anything less from the likes of Class 7 Instructor Randy. We're glad to see you're okay, too. Gathering intel while working part-time to keep a roof over your head can't be easy. Oh, it hasn't been all that bad. Helping out at the workshop has taught me a thing or two to boot. Just like Mint during the Civil War. Probably shouldn't have introduced myself as Mint's apprentice, though. Moments the words left my mouth, the boss turned white as a sheet. I suppose it's understandable. Not even old man Schmidt could deal with her. Speaking of which, I hope he and Mint are okay. Wait up, where's Tatiana? Wasn't she supposed to be with you, Pablo? But she set off for the Liberalian border. She said she was meeting up with someone there. The Liberalian border? Wouldn't that be Titus Gate? But that's a military base. What's she thinking hanging over there on her own? Tried to stop her, but she kept telling me she'd be fine, that her friend was gonna meet her there. She went by bus, so I'm sure she'll make it there just fine at least. Maybe we should go and check in on her, just in case. Oh, and you guys saw that black pleroma grass, didn't you? We had a few customers mention seeing it, something like that on the old road nearby. Really? Where? Let me think. It was a little while ago. They mentioned seeing it near some kind of stone monument. Huh. Sounds like the place we fought that Archism. Yeah, right down to the stone monument thing. Do you think it's actually related to the singularity this time? Maybe. That black grass is a bad sign. We should look into it when we have the time. Thanks for the tip, Pablo. No worries. Sorry it's not all that much. Thought I would have found some better info by now to give to you. If you happen to run into Tatiana, give her my regards. I'll see if I can dig anything else up for you on the singularity. Okay, good luck. Let us make our way to Titus Gate, and fast. Yeah, knowing Tatiana, or not specifically her, just knowing all of these characters from the branch campus still wearing their uniforms, I mean, just waltzing up there is a bad idea. Ah, one more thing nearly slipped my mind. What is it? Oh, it's nothing all that important, it's just... I've gotten to be friends with some of the kids here. They keep asking me to play Vantage Masters with them. But I'm absolutely rubbish at the game. The kids wipe the floor with me so quick, it's no fun for any of us. But I know you're pure dead brilliant at it, so if you happen to be able to spare a few minutes, mind giving me a few pointers? You want to practice together? I'd love to, especially if it makes things more fun for the kids. But unfortunately, I've lost my Vantage Masters cards. That's right, I might have yours. Everyone's cards got mixed up. I'm pretty sure I accidentally picked up some that weren't mine and stuffed them in my pocket. I think I lost all the strong cards in the process, though. Looks like we'll have to start collecting them all over again. No worries, works out for me anyhow. Means you'll be closer to my level. Good. The more even the odds, the better the game. Cool. Alright, so next time we're going to start making our way towards Titus Gates, see if we can find Tatiana. Maybe she has some more information for us, and we'll go from there. So, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.